Okay. So here's the portal down here. And our heroes are scattered around. We have Kyla Ward, who is... Let me go ahead and position this properly, and then I will bring her token up. All right, let's see here. All right, so there's Kyla, our red-headed, bowyerish woman. The mighty Tallgar Wolfspine, barbarian.
He looks so different from close up.
Emlyn Sin, the undead warlock. And somewhere we have our Gandalf lookalike. That is Thelonious Conch, wizard extraordinaire. Okay, so yeah, you guys had just the fey creatures, the satyr, the fauns, the whatever you want to call them, had been hacking at this tree after the tree spirit had run inside, melded into the trunk itself. The last thing that we did, I believe, Emlyn had cast Comprehend Languages in an attempt to converse with the creature. And after he had done so, its face kind of peered out and then melded back inside the tree. What did she look like? That was her right there. All kind of
Christmas.
Tanned and covered in pretty little
Christmas
glowing
anymore,
fungi. Okay. So yeah, you're all around the base of the tree, which is situated right next to this tranquil pool of water.
So, seeing her retreat after casting the spell, I'm going to look to Tolgar, Thelonious, and Kyla and be like, do I look unnatural and undead, and I don't have a mirror?
I can draw a picture of you.
I'll put it lightly. Yeah!
I mean, I might be I might understand her. I can't speak her language, and this place doesn't seem to have the willpower to like my kind, if you get my drift.
Well, not many do. Even before.
God, the old Emlyn would say so much to this.
When Emlyn was alive and actually had emotions to care.
Well,
You kind of look like the underside of a rock.
Maybe you should try to communicate with that creature who's afraid, because it probably will not want to show itself. And I'm just going to back up without saying any more.
Wait, does she speak my language?
No, we don't, but I can understand what you'll say.
So how do I speak back?
You try, or Kyla, you try. You are nicer looking than Tolgar.
What languages do you guys speak anyway?
Common.
Common.
The language everyone should speak. God.
Common, Infernal, Sylvan, and Primordial.
Wow.
Okay, yeah. Has anybody checked on Theo? Theo!
Oh, he speaks something.
Does
sure.
everybody have access to Theo? If
Yeah,
you don't, I
we have
better
access.
give you access to Theo.
Abyssal, Celestial, Common, and Elvish.
Okay. Alright.
I didn't know he was neutral evil.
Aww.
What?
He's incredibly palatable for neutral evil. He's very...
Yes, seriously. Okay.
It's all a ruse.
Well, someone else should try. I'm gonna be covering my face up more, covering my horns,
Okay.
just so it's
Kyla,
like my
this might
dark
be good
eyes.
for you. I'll back you up if you need it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, to be clear, to an average onlooker, Emlyn is clearly, he has no skin tone color whatsoever. He is very, very white and ashy, and his skin is incredibly dry and flaky, and while he doesn't exactly look like the Walking Dead yet, it's very clear to anybody looking at him that there is something seriously wrong with that dude.
Excuse me, tree. Well, I tried.
Carla!
What do you expect me to do? It's just I'm just gonna sit down kind of in front of the tree, frustrated, at this point. I don't know if you can understand me, but we don't mean you any harm. Which is unusual, but still.
Which is unusual. Normally we mean everything harm.
To some degree.
Do any of you know how to play music or sing a song?
I have bongo drums.
He does have the bongo drums.
He does.
I do.
Wait, we could do a bit of a, maybe we could do like a poetry jam or something.
Sure.
If you hit the bongos, I can go along with it.
I'm gonna take out my bongo drums.
Okay.
Kind of place them in front of me. Are you ready?
Give me an indication. Use the desk or
All right.
someone's head, whatever you need to do to tell me. So kind of let us hear these bongos.
Two. Ready? 2, 3, 4.
I once met a goat from Sorrow, who was horny like no tomorrow. He once met his mother, and they fuck each other, and now his horns he borrows.
Leo the Barbarian, thank you for the donation. Very kind. Okay, Tolgar, give me.
Doors like with these players. These guys.
Well, these characters are kind of evil. All right, I need a performance check from you, Tolgar.
Okay.
I will give you. Let's see. You're doing a performance check. I'm going to consider what Satch did as helping.
Good.
So I'm going to let you have advantage on that.
I do have drums is my tool proficiency. Just saying. Okay. No, I'm getting advantage on this.
I'll give you advantage, seeing as Kyla actually did sort of technically provide aid and help.
Okay.
All right.
13 with advantage. All right. So what actually happens is, as you're doing this and Kyla's rapping away, yes, we're going to call it a rap, you notice some rustling in the branches above, in the actual canopy of the tree. And you see a head actually pop out and is now looking down at you, kind of like a cat from a high poised perching position. Probably feels a little safer being higher up, where you can't quite get your grubby little claws on her as she leers down at you in a Fayish voice. She says, "So Emlyn, you can comprehend, so you understand it. Whether you choose to translate is entirely up to you." Okay, so she peers down, and in Fayish she says, "What strange manner of creatures are you?"
Well, I'm dead. No. I'm just going to look to everybody and be like, she's curious to our point of origin, where we're from, what we are.
Starblood tribe.
I don't think human will register.
Oh.
But we could try it, Kyla.
Okay, since you can't say it, I guess. Human. From Korthan.
I do not understand the strange dialect of which you speak.
Emlyn?
Yes, maybe we should all speak human in the languages we all know to show that the languages we could speak.
That's what I'm doing.
That's also what I'm doing.
In all the languages that Emlyn can speak, Common, Infernal, Sylvan, and Primordial, I'm going to say human. And then point at the portal over there.
Okay, so when you say that, you see her kind of ears prop up, and in Sylvan, she then says, "Human?"
human.
How did you get here?
So continuing the conversation, and Sylvan, I'm going to say, from this portal over there, we are pursuing a magical practitioner who might have escaped to this land. The portal goes to our home, which is not as colorful or pretty.
All right, she's kind of popping her head up and looking from the height of the branches at the glowing portal that is directly to the south. And then you suddenly see her disappear down into the canopy of the trees once more and rustling. And then shortly afterwards, a face appears in the bark as she kind of sticks her head out. You mustn't be here. She'll find you.
Who will find us? And as we're having this conversation, I'm going to be saying in common what's being said, kind of like translating.
Okay, so you're basically every word for word?
Pretty much. I mean, yeah.
Okay,
shortcuts. But,
all right, so yeah, whatever she says, you guys, you're aware of then. Okay. So she's like, the Queen will find you. She doesn't like strangers. She certainly doesn't like visitors.
Well, the person we are pursuing is also a stranger, also a visitor. We very much would like to return him to where we're from and not be here any longer than necessary.
If she has found him, I fear the worst.
And what is this person's name?
We are not permitted to call her by name. She is known as the Forest Queen.
Ooh. Cool.
This overall doesn't bode well.
So, you were saying we should just return through the portal and not be here?
If you want no harm to come to you, if you are not from here, it would be the wisest move. It would be the smartest thing to do.
And these creatures that were attacking you, are they in service of this woman, this queen?
I believe so. I think they were trying to force me into servitude. They have been hunting me for almost a day. I feel sure if you had not come when you did and distracted them, I would be in their clutches now.
Ask her how long the Queen has been here in these parts.
How long has the queen held dominion over this land?
As long as I can remember.
And you do not wish to serve her?
I served our illustrious prince before, but since the Queen has taken over, things are very different. Things have changed.
Ask if the Queen has some kind of person that guides her.
Does the queen have a ruler herself, or an advisor, if you will?
Oh no, the Queen is all-powerful. She rules as far as the eye can see. She has no advisors.
And is she native to this land herself?
Oh yes.
And
Although she is followed by a dark and terrible spirit that none can see, but all know is there, and if you gain her displeasure, we have heard it reaches out from the ether and will tear you to pieces.
Oh.
Where is this queen?
She holds dominion far to the east.
how far? Is it like more than a day?
That would depend on how you are capable of traveling. Can you fly?
No.
One of us can, yes. But
The Looney's conch can.
the man in the gray hat is capable of such feats.
Can you traverse through the fauna and undergrowth quickly? Or does it offer you hindrance?
No, we are people with legs and feet. We traverse the ground.
Ah, but these lands, the very ground itself is sentient and conscious. It may rise up against you and clutch at your feet and stop you from traveling quickly.
At this point, I was gonna stand up, and I'm so.
Suddenly she dives, you see her go, and disappears back in, and you hear shh, shh, and you see the canopy begin to move again, and once more, shh, her head appears. Oh no, they're coming back, she says, look, and then she dives down back into the canopy. On the slight rise that you see here, you notice that several of the satyrs have begun to recongregate.
That's got to be the worst ambush I've ever seen.
Well, especially considering that they were just given away, huh?
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn and step next to Kyla and face them.
I'm gonna get a whiff of the air and sidestep slightly from Emlyn.
Alrighty. This one over here, clutching the whip, he turns to the others and says in a language that obviously you will understand because you still have comprehend languages. We must spread out, come at them from all sides. We must capture them for her. Yes, we must. Okay. If you guys want to roll initiatives at this point, so we know where everybody's going, we may not need it, but in case we do, all right, Emlyn, you will be going on a 12. Tolgar, on a 19. All right, Satch is going on a 17. And does someone want to throw a... Oh, and you've done one for Theo. There you go. All right, so Tolgar 18, Theo is on a... Tolgar 19, Theo 18, Satch on a 17, or should I say Kyla. All right, let's see where these little fellows are going to go in the initiative then. Just go ahead and pull him up real quick. Alrighty. And I thought that was the case, but let's go ahead and get an initiative roll in for our little creatures. Alright, so they will be going right there. Okay. So upon hearing them say that, again, are you translating word for word as it is said?
Well, when they said spread out, I will say very quickly under my breath, they seek to surround us. I will say that in common.
Okay, upon hearing that, Tolgar, do you wish to act in any way?
Yeah, I'll say, Theo, can you make it so they can't spread out? And I'm going to move forward in front of these two and take my axe out.
All right, Thelonious Conch is next. What do you guys want Theo to do?
Everybody just quickly run through all of his spells as fast as you can.
I mean, Oh, geez, he has so many spells.
Yeah, it's not fair. We should have done our homework. Black tentacle.
What about the impenetrable wall or something like that?
No, I think. Well, what about the black tentacles? Because
Yeah,
we
I
have
think
that
black
too.
tentacles. If he dropped that in the middle of them.
That's nice. Let's do that one.
Everard's black tentacles.
Yeah.
There it is.
Alrighty. Range of 90 feet. That is no problem. I feel pretty sure.
And it'll be like right on the center of this guy in the middle, the axe.
There you go. Yep.
Plus
48,
plus the
so
incline.
50 feet.
Okay.
All right, so he's going to dump that. It's an area of effect, 20-foot square on the ground, so that will hit all of those. And it will do 13 points of bludgeoning damage unless they make a successful dexterity saving throw. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and make those and see how they do. Alright, so we're going to start off with this dude here. He will fail.
It's 15, right, for him? For Theo?
Yep. And this guy here will just kind of go around in a circle. Ooh, he will also fail. Holy crap! Looks like I've got the cursed dice tonight.
You're gonna roll really well later on, though. Watch.
And the last one.
12 versus 13. Wait, no, that's the damage.
Ooh.
He barely passes with the skin of his teeth. Okay, so basically, when a creature enters the area of effect for the first time, start its turn there, the creature must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or takes 3d6 bludgeoning damage and be restrained by the tentacles until the spell ends.
Die.
So these four on the outside, as the black tentacles just burst up through the ground and begin to wrap around their feet, I need somebody to roll a percentage dice.
Uh-oh.
I'll do it.
Alrighty.
Oh, no. Yeah, because where we are.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, man.
Alright, Tolgar.
What do you want me to roll? 1d100?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hondo P. Hondo P.
31.
Okay. Alright, so as the black tentacles begin to emerge, they immediately change colors to be vibrantly pink, and they start to sprout flowers all around them. So physically, aesthetically, it's changed, and Felonius is somewhat surprised at this. Alright, so let's see. Alright, so basically all of them except the one in the middle is going to take 3d6. And what did we roll? It was 13. Okay. 13 points of damage to each of them, except the one in the middle. Alright, Kyla Ward, you technically are next.
Alright. I'm gonna shoot a guy and then shoot the guy next to him and then shoot that guy again.
Alright, which one are you shooting?
Good description.
Yeah, I think I'm probably gonna sidestep over under the tree.
Okay.
That's at a spot I can be.
Yep.
So I have a good clear line of sight. I'm gonna shoot the guy in the middle, the guy over here, and then probably the guy in the middle again.
Alright. Alright, loose your first arrow.
Okie doke. I beat him in a thing, so this gets advantage. Boop, mop, bow of expenses. There it is. Oh, there it is. I was wondering when that happened.
Nice.
Alright, the arrow flies true and strikes that satyr in the upper shoulder with a glancing blow. You see him kind of spin, almost losing his footing, but doesn't quite tumble to the ground.
I do get sneak attack damage because it was with advantage.
Yep.
Ooh.
Okay, that
Yay.
Wow. That's right. You're 3d6 now. Nice.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, so it was clearly much more of a solid blow than I initially described.
Okay. I'll take it.
But he is still physically on his feet, somewhat shocked and alarmed, but he's still very much alive. Next one.
This one, I think,
You're
is just
plugging the one at the
attack.
front, right?
Yep. Normal attack on this one. Oof.
All right, this arrow shoots a little high. Obviously, you're shooting up at an arced angle because they're up on the rise. The angle is a little too lofty as the arrow disappears over their heads and into the trees.
Okay, it was the glare off of some of these shiny trees. This one's back on the first one.
I mean, yeah, they're all wiggly and stuff. Ooh.
Ooh.
Got it.
There it is.
Oh.
Got it.
Natural 20!
Alrighty, that's good to see. That's one set of dice I'm giving away at the end of the show tonight.
All right.
So you're definitely getting at least one set of dice given away. All right. The crit damage was kind of lame, but
Kind of bad.
all right. So you plug the same one again for an additional 9 points. Okay. It is their turn to react this turn. Okay, this one that is seriously damaged, he immediately turns tail and screams, "To the trees! To the trees!" as he runs off, blasting through the undergrowth. The other 4 attempt to do so. Now, here's the thing. They are moving. It's almost like they're kind of wading through very, very thick sludge. They're busting, like, the tendrils, the black tentacles that really aren't black tentacles, and they're spindly pink ones with flowers, are constantly trying to re-grab at their legs. But unfortunately, they're not... It slowed them down, but it hasn't kind of held them in place. So they will basically all try to... They all get half movement. This one is going to go to here, and that's as far as he's going to get. This one is going to kind of like jump down off of the ledge, as is this one. And this one is going to kind of rush forward. That is as far as they're able to get. Now, the range on that spell was 20 foot square. And it was centered on the center.
Yeah.
So I think they're all probably still... Oh, hold on.
Do we know why it turned all flowery? I'm guessing
Well,
does Theo
Technically,
know?
no. Okay, these 3 are
should roll
still
an
within the
intelligence roll.
scope of it. This one is just outside of it now. The one at the bottom.
Can we have Theo roll a knowledge arcana on that, maybe?
Yeah,
Sure.
could I do that? All right, do it.
Theo can have a knowledge arcana roll.
Got it?
Yes. 21.
All right. So Theo knows if indeed that you are in the Feywilds, which he is beginning to suspect. Magic doesn't necessarily work in this world or in this realm the same way that it does in yours.
Interesting.
And it is known to be far more subject to change. Which is a little concerning because spells could either be empowered here, fundamentally changed here to have a different effect, or it could kind of hurt you. Like, they can backfire and do negative things.
Yikes.
So that's a thing for casters to think about here. At the moment, of course, unless Theo is going to relay that information at some point, he's the only one that is aware of this. So, all right, speaking of, Emlyn Sin.
Yeah, I imagine Theo would not immediately say what's going on.
It's probably just occurred to him as
Yeah.
he's seen what happened. Where in the heat of battle and combat, no, he'll probably drop it on you guys whenever this immediate danger is through.
Yeah.
Well, that makes a problem happen because I will be casting my Eldritch Blast spell twice.
All
I
right.
will be
Once.
targeting... Well, once, unless something happens. First, I'll be targeting this one up top,
All right.
and my second bolt will hit this guy over here. because those are my 2 line of sights that I really see.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
so roll the first Eldritch Blast.
And the last time I cast the spell, it empowered it, or I felt stronger. So
You
I
did.
would, of course, do it again.
All right. That one will definitely hit that one. And roll for the second one.
Okay.
Ooh. And that will also hit, but not very hard. Give me a percentage dice roll. A percentage dice roll will affect both blasts equally. One casting. Okay, 65. It pretty much works as intended.
Nice.
Does what you expected it to do. All right, so the one up here, he gets the first blast of 10. And then this one down here gets the second blast of 6.
Ooh, yeah.
All right, Tolgar.
Yes.
What do you wish to do now, mighty barbarian?
All right. I'm looking for the one that I saw that Kyla hit twice. Which one?
He ran off.
He ran.
Oh, he ran. Okay.
Yeah, he
Never
bolted with his little goat tail between his legs into the trees.
All right. I am raging up, and I'm running towards the first one that's kind of closest to me here. Is that a tree or a bush? A tree.
That's a tree.
Okay, so I'm under this tree here. And I'm going to attack it twice with my longsword.
Okay.
Kill.
Second.
Kill.
I'm attacking to kill.
My
We
goal
come
is
in
to
peace.
cause harm.
Cool. All right.
Wow.
Okay, the first slash
You know?
strikes true. However, as you come back around and lunge forward with your longsword to stab him, he deftly nips to the side, and you hit nothing but thin air.
Bastard.
All right,
Come here, horse
Thelonious
person.
Conch.
Horse person.
Would he cast another spell knowing what he knows?
Probably
yeah.
the weaker of one.
Yeah,
Like a firebolt
a
or
weaker
something?
one.
Like a firebolt or like a low-level magic missile, just to gauge how that actually works. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's do a magic missile then.
Yeah.
I like that. On the one where? Which one?
Probably is going to have to be one of either this one or this one for Theo for line of sight purposes. He might be able to see this one. I'd say with magic missile he can because as long as he can see a part of them, he doesn't have to have a clear line of sight. As long as there is a line of sight, so he could hit any one of those 3.
Okay.
Probably the one with the whip, recognizing the leader.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. Okay. He's also the one that seems to have broken clear of all the tendrils as well. All right, Thelonious.
You want to do it, Satch?
You can go ahead. I don't have his sheet pulled up, so.
Alright. Which one? What, magic missile level 1, right?
Knock it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's level
Yeah.
1 spell. Is he casting it just a standard, or is he going to empower it? No.
Nah, it's standard.
All right, so 3d4 plus 3, right? All right. So he fires off that spell. It hits the creature with the glowing balls. But let's get that percentage dice roll first before we give any real description,
Woo!
because that might actually not be what happens.
Ooh.
33. Okay. So the balls do fly towards him. As they do so, they begin to kind of like lose momentum. And by the time they actually hit it, it's more like a and it only does about half of that. So the amount of damage was greatly diminished. So he did hit, but
Okay.
didn't do an awful lot of damage, unfortunately.
Feywilds!
Wow.
All right.
Is Tolgar in the crap?
I didn't
Let
think about it.
me look and see.
Down
He
the hill?
probably is.
Dang it,
So
goes down
Tolgar
the
make
hill.
a dex save.
All right.
Okay. Make it a good one.
Yeah, that's not good. Okay, so
Give
you're taking the damage from this thing then.
All right.
Which was
You want to just re-roll it?
13.
It was 13.
it was 13. So yeah,
Half.
so you take 13, but instead of actually being held in place, your movement is just halved because of the effects
And
of the
it's
spell.
bludgeoning, so you're rage. So it's
I just want to see pink tentacles attacking Tolgar. I just think that's a lovely image. Just makes me laugh so
Very
much.
big tentacles. All right.
Just like smacking him in the face.
All right.
Stop
Kyla.
Stop that.
Okay, I'm going to actually turn and face the guy who's kind of coming down the edge there.
Okay.
Move back a little bit and unload on him a couple of times here.
2 arrows. Okay.
Not pulling out any spells here yet. There we go. Oh, this is the wrong sheet. That's why I'm like, where did my weapons go? And it's Theo. It's Theo.
It's the Feywilds. They've just vanished.
I don't have any weapons.
Your bow has been replaced.
There's one shot.
All right. Hits him for 6.
And then here's the other.
Ooh, nice.
4,
Yeah.
8. Okay, the first arrow plugs the creature in the side as it kind of spins around, dropping its staff. The second one catches it right in the neck as it gurgles and collapses to the ground, no longer moving. All right, it is their turn. They take 15 points of damage by default. 13, sorry. This one is... So this one up here, you can see, is kind of like fighting and tearing at the tendrils as they're ripping at him. And instead of it being the tentacles that are doing the damage, it looks like large, gristly thorns that have grown out of the tentacles that are actually ripping at the skin. So he takes that damage, and then he leaps off the thing to here to get clear of it. This one, as Tolgar is like lined up to hit him, it's almost like the tendrils have overwhelmed him. They've wrapped all the way around him, around his neck as he's beginning to choke, and they start to pull him down. He collapses under their weight and is also deceased.
Nice.
This one managed to break free. He is fleeing.
Baby. Horse.
And that is all that they're going to do this turn. Because this one can't go any further because he broke free. So, all right. So, Tolgar, you need to give me a saving throw.
What kind?
Dex saving throw again.
Is it strength at this point, or?
No, it's still a dex save, I think. Or does it change to strength?
I think because I know like entangling.
Black tentacles, let's see. A creature that starts its turn in the area and is already restrained takes the 3d6 bludgeoning damage. Okay, so you can choose, yes. Strength or dexterity now.
I will do strength.
All right.
Advantage.
Sorry to ask like that. I was just really actually curious.
Yeah, no, but that is correct.
Woohoo!
I mean, it would make sense.
Yeah.
All right, okay, so you do manage to break free, but you start your turn in there, so you do take the 13 damage initially, but now you're broken free from it.
Blech. All right. And is that my whole turn then, or can I?
Nope, you can move.
Oh, nice. Then this is the one. This is the guy, the unlucky one. I will swing my longsword at.
Yeah, because I mean it's only 5 foot from where you are, so you could do a 5
very
foot.
angrily. Another
Okay.
one.
Well,
Wow.
with all the anger you can muster, you miss epically. But you do manage to come back around and catch him on the backside for
This is my
17,
practice swing.
which is enough to end him where he stands. As the last one hits the ground, other than the 2, of course, that fled. All right.
You gotta kill 2 more of them before we
These
can
little
get that.
satyr dudes were no match for you.
So Thelonious is going to dispel the pink lightning. pink
lightning?
pink tentacles.
Okay, all right. At this point, after witnessing that, the little fey creature pops out of the tree and is now perched, crouched, like almost like, it's crouched on its knees and its hands are sitting in front of it like a frog. And seems to be a little bit more comfortable being around you at this point.
Haha.
Yes, now that we've murdered them, they like us. Kill more
In Sylvan, she says, "Thank you. Thank you so much. Was any of you hurt?"
I'm going to take a step back and say all of them were.
No, any of you.
Well, I mean, I've been aged. Maybe could you help with that?
Oh.
I'm supposed to be young.
I can't do that, but you can have these. And she starts to pluck some of the little nodules off of her hair. And then she's holding like 6 of them in her palm and offers her hand out to you, kind of like shakingly. Very nervous.
Take them.
She drops them. They're very pretty colored. They look like little pretty colored fruits or possibly berries. If you're not feeling very well, these can help.
And these just grow in your hair.
Every day.
Huh.
Try it, Kyla. It might help you.
Probably. You just want to say that. Are these great? Did I just ate one?
You eat one?
Yeah.
Okay, basically, it's a good berry.
Yes!
Good berry!
But it actually heals 3
Best
points,
spell.
not 1.
Oh.
Ooh.
3
So it's a
points.
little bit more, it's like a turbocharged good berry.
Turbo berry.
As that's happening, I'm going to go to these dead bodies and see if they are in fact fully dead, because if not, I want to siphon whatever I can off of them.
Oh yeah, they are all not just mostly dead, but very, very dead.
I'm going to return to Toga and be like, you can't leave them a little bit alive for me next time.
I was thinking we should have captured one and asked them what they were talking about with all the.
We could go after the one that ran.
I mean, they both ran in roughly the same direction. They seem to come from the northeast.
You'll never catch them. Not in the forest. Even I'm not swift enough to outrun them. That's why they cornered me here at the tree.
What is your name?
My name is Pitkin. Pitkin Merrifellow.
That's like a. Is
adorable.
Is that an anagram of picnic? I think that's an anagram of picnic. Her name's Picnic, spelled backwards. Sorry.
Is there a place called Moradin's Hollow or Moradin's Tower anywhere around here?
Not that Pitkin's heard of.
Or is there a tower? Maybe.
The only tower I know is far, far, far to the north.
Is it occupied?
Oh, yes.
By what, if you don't mind me asking?
Dark ones. Many, many dark ones.
Like devils and demons?
Just
Fiends?
dark,
Don't say that.
the dark spirits. She's in league with them, I'm sure of it. I've heard the rumors.
That kind of sounds like our guy, doesn't it?
I mean, it could be. If the tower doesn't exist, if no one has heard of it where we come from, could be.
But what does far, far away mean? How far?
With legs underfoot, you could make it there in 1 moon.
A month.
Is there a faster way to get there? A portal?
No faster way that Pitkin knows.
what are you going to do now that they're dead? And I'm going to gesture to the others, the Satyrs.
That's only a few of them. There's dozens of them. Dozens of them in the forest. They all work for her. They'll all be looking. I must leave here. I must get far, far away. If she has your friend, then follow the flowers. That's my advice. Follow the flowers.
Look at this map here.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a pale path. I see now there's a path of flowers.
Oh,
And to see her, how long would it take us to walk there on our feet?
If you have swift feet, then perhaps just one son. Maybe two.
So I'm going to look to Kyla and be like, I imagine you'd want to go back first.
I mean, if you don't mind, I'd like to regain maybe the 30 or 40 years this has put on. It was 20, but to Kiowa.
Togar, what do you...
I think we should go back and prepare ourselves for this event.
So I'm gonna consider this and walk to the portal. Does it seem like it'll never run out of energy, or can I determine if it's just forever open?
Give me an Arcana check.
I mean, I know that's a hard thing to kind of determine. It's just I don't want to like lose it, kind of. Arcana.
The fact that it seems to be a structure as opposed to just a glowing portal means it's probably semi-permanent. That doesn't mean, however, that anybody that would dispel magic or if anybody physically damaged the portal, that it wouldn't destroy it or stop it. If it's not interfered with by in any means, in theory, it should stay put for a while.
And it's quite large, right? I mean, the portal itself is human size shaped, right? Larger than Tolgar. And
it's about. I mean, the portal itself is about 9 foot tall, and probably about 4 foot wide. I mean, it's easily enough for a person to walk through as if it was like a doorway.
Okay. So I'm going to turn back and notice that the girl Nitpick is gone, or whatever.
Pitnick? Or Pitkin, sorry.
I'm just gonna call her
Pitkin.
Nitpick.
Yeah, Pitkin has legged it as soon as given half a chance.
Do you think there's maybe a way to hide this portal from these people, these creatures? Or should we just risk it?
I feel like they've seen this before. They didn't seem to pay attention to it.
So I guess now we just have to figure out how to get out of the mansion that we returned to. There has to be another way out.
Well, it is a magical user. He maybe just teleports like you guys can.
Well, Kyla, you want to go back, right?
It's a bit selfish of me, I know. A little uncharacteristic even, but I would like to maybe, not die earlier than I have to. I mean, without cause.
Age is prestigious. For men, anyway.
And makes me generally considered useless in the long run, doesn't it?
Are you past your childbearing years now?
it's not really something I want to answer for you.
I mean, point of fact, you all look a little beat up if I don't. And I wouldn't mind finding a child or some innocent in the village to leech off of.
The child.
You know.
Yeah. something weak and feeble that you can just drain the life out of without it putting up much of a
Go
fight.
in a hut and this. Yeah, go into a hut, blast some fools, claw them up, you know.
Great.
So let's head back.
All right. Good luck to us.
All right.
Hey,
I think I'll be the first to test the portal through.
All right. You just
works.
stepping through, or are you gonna like do anything prior to? I mean, y'all took a lot of caution coming
I
through the
think I
first
would
time, so I
just
don't want to
step
assume
through.
anything.
I'll step through normally and
All
see
right.
what happens.
Okay. Basically, you step into it, and it like gives like with you, almost like. Imagine, if you will, a giant bubble that you've blown from one of those kids' things, and if you pressed on the side, it would kind of like indent until it pops. This indent's kind of like that, but it doesn't pop. And you're pushing into it, and it's like stretching with you, but even with as much force as you've got behind it, it's resisting. It's not letting you through.
Come on. Damn it.
With your arcane roll of 20, it suddenly dawns on you, Emlyn. That's probably pretty logical, because what would stop all of these things just flooding through the portal if that was easy? The odds are the person that is meant to come through this portal has some way back through, but not you guys, because you weren't meant to come through the portal.
Togar, stop joking around.
I can't, and I'm gonna keep pressing into it. Oh God.
Going
There's
to
gotta
need you
be
to get
something.
through there.
And knowing
There's
this
no
is
way.
utterly futile, I'm just going to say, Togar, try the other side.
Kyle's already trying it.
Okay. It's the same regardless of which side you press. The only difference is it kind of just, obviously it goes inwards the opposite direction. As you're like, and it's like stretching. You can literally feel the magical energy kind of stretching, but it just isn't giving.
So Thelonious and I are going to start looking at the pillars and the structure for any markings or word that might key us into what item we need to return via this portal.
All right, it is covered in arcane symbols all the way. So what it actually looks like, it's almost got like a spiral coil that runs all the way up it, and all the way around that spiral coil from the bottom to the top are arcane engravings and markings. It would take quite some time to decipher accurately. I'm not saying you couldn't do it, but
I mean, honestly, I don't think Thelonious or Emlyn would stop their study because they're not aged and they don't care, right? I mean, sorry, guys.
Well, Emlyn definitely doesn't. Maybe Theo does. I don't know.
A little bit, yeah.
But
so Emlyn's just going to start trying to decipher it.
Okay.
Muttering under his breath, reading what he can.
All right. So Emlyn is going to start doing so. Thelonious is going to start doing so. Meanwhile, Kyla and Tolgar, as you see the academics begin. Oh, now let's see this symbol here. Now, when this symbol is next to this symbol, what does that typically mean? And they're puzzling and quandering. And of course, at this point, you're starting to realize, yeah, we're going to be here a while.
All right.
I mean,
I'm going to do something.
Oh, no.
I'm going to do my ritual. Speak with animals.
Okay.
Yeah.
meanwhile, Kyle is still back there stabbing at the portal with a knife, trying to get through. Screaming and hollering and, you know.
Okay.
So, after 10 minutes of casting, I'm gonna look around for any type of animal I could speak to, like a rabbit or a bird or.
You
know,
haven't seen
lizard.
any rabbits or birds or any kind of creatures, to be honest. Not a one.
Not one, huh?
Not since you've been here, no. That being said, you came through a glowing portal into a fiasco. The odds are, with everything that's gone around here, animals and stuff have probably long since vacated this area. I mean, you've been fighting, there's been explosions, there's been screams, there's been clashing. Not the sort of place that fuzzy, furry animals usually stick around.
Could I, like, look into trees to see if any are burrowed inside and hiding in, like, a little hole?
Give me a, go ahead
What?
if you will, give me a perception check, Tolgar.
Just a gigantic barbarian going to holes in trees like,
Are you in there?
little rabbits?
Squirrel!
Okay, as you're coming over here and examining this, you don't notice anything in the tree. However, you do notice ripples in the water. There are fish in there.
Okay.
Talk to the fish.
Excuse me. Gold one over there. Excuse me. Can you understand me?
All right, one of the fish kind of comes.
This seems futile as you live in a pond, but I suppose you haven't been watching the comings and goings of a man through this portal, have you?
Okay. The fish kind of like just, in a really weird way, just kind of like uses its fins to go. To what you think might be the closest thing a fish can do to actually shaking its head.
Is there an otter around here? A beaver? Birds? A duck?
Right, the fish kind of like does a couple of like little jumps out of the water, like.
A duck! Alright. I'm gonna wander this way, kind of towards this area, and look for more creatures.
Okay. So you're going to start wandering around the pond looking to see if you can find anything. Kyla, are you still futilely stabbing at the glowing barrier?
Let me check my willpower here. Yes.
Okay. Alright, so let's get a Arcana knowledge from both Emlyn and from Thelonious and see how quickly they are deciphering this.
Hey!
Oh, Emlyn's on a roll.
Yeah, he is.
I'll do Thelonious, I guess.
Yep, got it.
No.
Alright, and Thelonious is struggling a little bit with it. I mean, he's getting there, but
What an idiot.
you can see, like, Thelonious is still halfway around the bottom of the first coil, where Emlyn is now halfway onto the second coil.
I definitely took my Book of Shadows out, and I'm kind of using it as reference points, because it's insane anyway,
Yeah,
so
okay.
maybe it's helping. Yeah.
Alright. Okay. So, yep, with everything going on, Tolgar, you have completely circumnavigated the pond. You still haven't seen any creatures at this point. And
Okay.
nobody's having any luck with the busting through the glowing portal at this point either, so time is ticking by. Based on how far you've gotten in 30 minutes, assuming you continue at the same pace, probably 3 to 4 hours maybe you might have read everything on the coil.
Okay.
Thelonious probably closer to 6 hours.
So, with Kyla still poking at the magic, I'm just going to say, there is a thought. Kyla.
And what is that?
Well, Nitpick or Pitkin or Picnic, the strange creature with the berries in the hair.
All right. And there was a vote for inspiration for Kyla's little rap, which passed unanimously.
What?
Yeah, apparently so. So, Kyla, you actually are about to be gifted with your very own inspiration point. Now, everybody has one except Edlin.
On aging.
Still old.
Dang it.
This the creature mentioned the queen had an invisible advisor or whisperer. Maybe that is the wizard who uses this portal.
That's kind of an odd thought.
Well, Thelonious and myself can go invisible with magic. Why wouldn't this guy, this magician,
So he can just always be invisible.
just... I mean, he's an outsider, right? And it would be hypocritical for the queen who doesn't want outsiders to have one advising her, right?
Yeah. But he also probably just has it as a part of her innate self, being what, all-powerful and not. Alright, let's just follow the flowers. If I'm gonna be old, I'm going to use every moment I have. No offense, Thelonious. I know you don't have many left.
I'm gonna drink the 1d8 potion.
Okay.
Damn it. Cool. Awesome. Alright.
And don't forget, you've still got 5 of those berries that each do 3 points. That's 15 points of healing in berry terms.
She gave that to,
Kyla has them.
right?
Yeah, she's got
Okay.
5 of them.
Can I pocket one of those if for an emergency?
Yeah, I'm gonna give him like 3 of them. Take
Okay.
all the hits anyways.
Thank you. 3 good berries.
Which leaves me with, I had like a small handful, right?
There was 6, so you
6,
had
okay.
you
I
ate
ate
1,
one,
so
so I
you
have
still
2
have 2. Yep.
If you could still speak to animals, Tolgar, maybe capture a few of them so I can mooch.
There were none. I tried to find one. You could go. I could get a fish for you.
No, it seems like we're in haste, so let's just go.
All right. We're gonna follow the flowers.
Okay.
The pretty, pretty flowers.
All right. Kyla and okay, all of you give me a perception check.
Okay.
That's Thelonious and Emlyn.
All right.
12 and 7.
12, 13, 7, and
Come on.
12. Okay.
Wow.
Tolgar. You almost miss it, but you notice that where the dead satyr fell, like there, almost like a bed of flowers has grown around their corpse, like they're laying on them. Almost as if where they travel, the flowers go, because this is the area that they all came fleeing out of. You know, they came from this way, they went from that way, and that's where the flower path is. So maybe the flowers are somehow related to the travelings of these creatures.
Okay, I'm gonna point that out. But instead of coming to that theory, Tolgar, I just say, I think when you die, flowers grow around you, so we're following a path of dead bodies.
Follow the dead.
Watch your step.
And I think it is about this time that Thelonious will mention us that magic is acting differently here to be careful.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I think it's a safe time.
Oh.
With Tolgar's wonderful wisdom.
Of course.
All right.
I'll head that way.
Okay, so you
Talking
guys
to
are
a
all
fish.
following the flower path.
Freaking fish
Yeah.
stalks. Yeah.
All right. Give me a second here.
Ooh.
Whoa. There's more of these?
There's
They're so
more.
pretty.
Wow.
Hoorah. Wow.
All right. Okay, so you kind of come through the tree line, and there's kind of a little clearing with like little raised daisies and stuff like that. You can see kind of like a dirt path here that kind of curves and goes southwards, but you can also see a very clear flower path that is heading kind of northeast from this point as well.
I think we're supposed to take this path.
The flower one, yes.
Correct. Are we seeing any more animals lately? Just wondering.
Okay, if you're looking for animals still, go ahead and give me another perception check.
Yay!
You're far enough away to where there wasn't a lot of yelling and hollering and commotion. So, okay, yes.
Nice.
So as you start wandering over, you do notice that over here, in a small clearing, underneath these trees, near some rocks, appears to be a vibrantly colored squirrelish type creature. It's bigger than a squirrel. It's probably twice the size, but it has a huge, big, bushy tail, much like a squirrel. And it is kind of like, it's pinkish on the chest, but its back fur is kind of a very vibrant purple.
Oh.
It
Cool.
is sitting there and eating on one of the big berries that are growing inside some of these trees. It's like
Okay.
rolling it round.
Excuse me, Sir Squirrel.
Sir.
It seems rather surprised.
I know you're surprised.
Oh
but
my
yes,
god,
I
a
can
talking
talk to
barbarian.
creatures.
Okay, it drops the thing and then it like runs over to the rock and like climbs on
don't
the
be
rock
scared.
so that it's like in a position to flee should it need to.
Okay. Hello, might I
What's the
inquire?
duration on your ability?
Let me scroll up. Oh. It is...
It's not listed on your
I
description,
need to add that, I guess.
which is why I
With
asked.
Animals Ritual. This is 5e, right?
It is.
It
Last
is...
I checked.
Duration, 10 minutes.
Alright, I'm going to say it's still in effect, but be quick.
Okay. Squirrel, you know the portal that's just over there.
What's a portal? What's a portal?
Do you know the big shiny thing that a man walks through and disappears? The green spiral. Dang it, stupid squirrel. Old man with lots of fur on his face, maybe.
Behind you! There's one behind you!
Is there another that you've seen? Pointy hat, maybe. I'm assuming.
How well traveled is this squirrel?
Right?
It has its explorer badge. No.
Aw.
Okay, it looks at you and says,
Many suns ago, there was one. He walked the path.
Flower path. I'm going to point to the flowers.
That way.
and he points east.
Okay, with the flowers. You never walked back this way.
Haven't seen him. Haven't seen him.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Squirrel.
Get him, Togar. Get him to look behind him.
What's over there? I'm gonna make wait that way behind him.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
The squirrel's like,
As he does that, I'm gonna leap at him with my claws.
well, you're quite a way away.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm itching up.
That's
Oh,
50.
wait. Oh, I thought he was right in front of us.
No, he was right here in this. Sorry, no, not that. Oh, no, not that rock. Sorry, that's my bad. He's here.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Oh.
Okay.
But if you knowing that, if you would have continued to walk closer to him, I would be okay with that.
Yeah, I would have. I mean, I don't want a shouting match in Squirrelese, right? That would have been weird.
Okay, how close would you have gotten to him?
I would have gotten within. I would have tried to get as.
If
Next
as
to
soon as
Tolgar.
once Tolgar got to about here, he jumped over the other side of the rock, and
Oh, okay.
Okay.
so
Okay.
it seems to be if you get within 10, 15 feet of him, he gets very apprehensive. And of course, 10, 15 feet is quite a long way for a squirrel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so at that point, Tolgar is gonna get him to look behind him, and you want to make a leaping attack with your claws. You could do it from here. You've got the distance. You're
I
close
would
enough.
try. I would honestly try.
All right, give me a melee attack then, an unarmed melee attack against the squirrel.
Squirrel. Emlyn versus the squirrel.
Squirrel!
Yeah. Well, my strength isn't very good, so nope.
All right.
Oh.
Emlyn leaps forward as the squirrel, being very deftly and very quick, dives off the rock and
Goodbye.
disappears into the undergrowth as Emlyn's claws just come crashing down on the spot where the squirrel was. Damn it! Ugh.
Well, I did find
The
out some
squirrel
valuable
gets about
information.
15, 20 feet down underneath the trees, looks back at you, and then turns and up the closest tree and
Sorry.
disappears.
He's hungry. So this is interesting. He saw a man like Thelonious many suns ago go east, but never saw him again.
I'm just gonna walk back to Tolgar without a squirrel to suck the life out of.
I'm sorry.
It's a long shot. I'm not very deft with my.
No, I feel sorry for the squirrel. You, on the other hand, do better next time. That was very weak.
Being chastised by a barbarian for your squirrel chasing abilities. Okay, with no squirrel to sate your desires.
Alright. I guess we'll head that way.
Yep.
Alrighty.
The squirrel which will cure what ails you.
Okay, so you guys are just going to continue to follow the flowery path east?
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, that's a really good stopping point for our first break. So let's go ahead. We're going to take a short break. All right, so you guys were all marching to the end of this here path and following along, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Then I will scroll a little further for you.
Or you could nod. Just we find a pendant on the floor that says "Return to Sender." And
And you're done. And that's all I've got to say about that. Okay. You continue for what seems probably like a good 30 to 45 minutes through the forest. The path seems to carry onwards, still winding and turning in an easterly direction.
Okay.
Did I put you on this map?
yeah, we're
Oh, okay, good.
Generally now, I am looking for signs of life from animals to know if there's any commotion in the area recently. So that's what I'm going to look out for.
All right, perception check. I'll allow you one perception check per map.
Okay. Perception. There we go.
All right. You've seen a few critters here and there as you've wandered.
So
Okay.
I'm just gonna look back and. You think that path that heads to the north, the dirt path, might head to the tower?
Why would you think that?
Well, the creature said far to the north, and I know we've been traveling east, but it's not a live trail,
Do we want to try to get to the tower right now or find this queen?
Oh, no, I'm just saying maybe this is the way to the tower for future.
Could be, yes. I'm gonna look a mile in the distance that way, as far as my eyes can go. Just to see.
You can see maybe 200, 300 feet until it hits a turn where there's tons of trees.
Okay. It winds in that direction, but I don't know if it keeps going north.
We could make you fly if you want to see further north.
Could someone just climb a tree and look out? See if they see a tower in the distance?
Well, that would be you.
You're the one with the
Oh,
seeing far ability there, yeah?
right. Of course. And I'm gonna head this way,
Okay.
and I'm gonna attempt to climb a tree.
All right. That's not a difficult thing for you to do.
Sweet.
You're fit, agile,
Yeah.
strong.
Yeah. Yeah.
It might
All
be
right, so you
difficult for the
climb up
tree.
to the top of the tree, and glance. Yeah, I mean, it's trees as far as the eye can see. Very, very pretty. There's some rolling hills and stuff like that, but you can't see anything that looks like a prolific tower stuck somewhere in the distance.
All right.
Makes sense considering, it's a moon away.
True. I will climb down and say, it was really gorgeous.
I don't think I've ever heard you use that.
So you guys have been inside on this side of the portal now for probably about 3 hours, just to give you a reference.
And we entered the portal at like noon or 1, right?
It was just past midday-ish, as best as you can guess.
Okay.
I mean, you were underground, so you couldn't really see anything to give you any solid indication, but based on the time you went in and how long you were there. So at this point, you probably only have 4 or 5 hours of time left. And that would include getting back. This slow sauntering jaunt that you've been going on is eating your time. Especially you spent a good 30 plus minutes trying to decipher the spiralings on the...
Should we hike it towards the east? Quick as possible.
Would we be ready for a fight with this queen if necessary?
No. Well, what can we do? There's got to be a solution and way out of here. Maybe east.
That's the best we've got.
Okay.
Yeah. Alright, so we're going to pick up our speed and...
Well, you're going at Thelonious' speed in that case, because Thelonious is a 70-plus-year-old man and doesn't move very quickly.
Freaking Thelonious! I'm gonna pick him up like I did that one time when he was going
Okay, so
real
you're going to
slow.
basically put Thelonious...
Get
on
my
your back?
old man, and he's probably happy about it. Like
Oh
he
yeah,
was last
after all the
time.
walking, I'm sure he is. Okay. So once again, you follow the flowery road. Okay.
At a slightly quickened pace. The Thelonious hat bobbing.
Alrighty.
Dang it.
Of course.
Well, which one is it?
All right. So yes, as you continue ahead, the flowers split. You could head northwards or southwards, or northeast or southeast.
Also seems to be the one dead ahead.
Which one feels more east-ish?
You tell me.
Well, the southeast seems less steep, right?
Yeah.
Let's
Seems.
go that way. For no reason whatsoever than to pick away and be quick about it.
Okay.
Okay.
This is what we call 50-50 now, folks. We will not deduce the way by any means. We shall just go...
Actually,
That
I'm
one.
gonna check and see if I can tell which one's been traveled more.
Which one's been traveled more?
Yeah, like if one
Like, are
has
there
more.
more flowers on one?
You have some tracking ability, I believe.
I think, yeah, as a ranger,
You're allowed. Are you? I think as a
Survival, right?
ranger, you're allowed to use survival to track, right?
Yeah.
I think so. Yep. Go ahead and do that.
Yeah. Give me a survival skill roll.
That's my ability. Oh, that wasn't bad.
Okay. Clearly, the path that the others have all trampled on has been traveled much more recently.
Mhm.
But it definitely had been, despite the fact that their fresh footsteps have crushed many of the flowers.
Okay. So I'm just
You
gonna
can
follow
actually
along.
see cloven, like underneath the flowers and in and around the flowers. When you got down close to look, you can see cloven hooves. There were some going north as well, but they're much more prominent going in this direction.
Nice.
So that's the direction I'll follow.
So, as luck would have it,
Let's
it looks
split
like
the
they
party.
might have guessed the right way anyway.
Yeah. That's okay.
Alrighty. Hey, at least you've got some semblance of thought process to where it might actually be a thing, right?
Yeah,
Maybe.
kinda. Follow the yellow brick road.
Oh.
Follow
All
that.
right. Okay, you kind of hit when you follow this way, you kind of hit a bunch of trees. The trees kind of become very thick and very dense. Once you manage to push your way through them and out to the other side, you're on a slight raised bluff. And there are no flowers that you can see directly around in this area. It's like they literally come to the edge of the woods here, and then they stop. They just dissipate.
What?
Oh.
Okay. Are there animals?
Give me your dice roll.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Nice.
can I like check the ground for any signs of activity in the area?
Well, if you want to continue to like look for tracks, you can do that too. So Tolgar is checking for critters, okay,
Want survival?
and Kyla is going to check to see if there are any continuations of tracks. All right. There are cloven footprints here, but no flowers. So it would appear that things continued, and it looks like they kind of wound their way down, to here, and then like wound their way, followed the path downwards. But there's no flowers. All right, Tolgar, you've noticed that there are quite a few birds in and around some of these trees above you. You haven't seen many ground animals, but there are quite a bunch of brightly colored birds with very vibrant, feathery, long tails.
They don't look like monkey birds or bats.
No, not monkey birds or bats, no. They're definitely very, very, very... They're like numerous colors. They've got like a big, long, feathery crest on the top of their heads and very,
Nice.
very long tails with long... That kind of like... They start off as like a bluey purple color up top, and then as it goes down their back and on their wings and towards the back, it becomes a really, really bright red.
Okay. Cool. I'll keep an eye on them, but I'll follow Kyla.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna continue following the tracks around if I can.
All right. Okay, yep. The tracks kind of continue in this direction
Cool.
to this point here, and then once again they split. Seems to be like they're like right here. It's almost like a bunch of them congregated. There's way more hoof prints here than the couple that you were following. It looks like there was almost like a congregation of quite a bunch of them here. And then they split. Some went north, some went east, some went south. So like the dirt paths, they like followed all three of the dirt paths. But they all met here in the center for something.
Interesting.
Perhaps we found it?
What? Found what?
I don't know. I'm new here.
Do you think it's invisible and they're all around? There's something around us?
Well, the other one disappeared into a tree. Okay, I'm coming around here, just kind of noticing the tree on the cliff. Just kind of following I guess a bit of an instinct. I'm just gonna come up and like knock on the tree.
Okay. You see a couple of birds like come out of the top and fly off into the sky above. Incidentally, the sky is kind of like a pinkish, vibrant hue as well. It's not like a light blue or even clear sky that you recognize. Everything about this place is colorifically off.
Oh. Is anyone there? Emlyn, say your rattly wind sounds to the tree.
My what?
Rattly wind sounds.
You were speaking to that other thing. Talk to this tree.
I was speaking in Sylvan.
Okay, then do that. And I'm just gonna like go over to the edge of the cliff and kind of look around, see if I can make anything of the land.
So in Sylvan, I'm just gonna say to everything around me, is anyone there?
You get no answer. However, a couple of seconds after that, suddenly, all of the birds in the trees here, suddenly all, as if in unison, go, and they all ascend into the sky and head westward. Like a huge flock of them. Dozens and dozens of birds.
So I'm gonna grab Thelonious and basically back up to the center and look in all directions.
Okay.
So I kind of like alert.
I'm gonna run back this way too.
What are we doing? Okay. Yep. The birds have vacated this area. Right after Emlyn basically yelled out, "Is anyone here?" But it wasn't like right as he did it. It was a few seconds after he did it.
Can Thelonious or somebody do detect magic in that area that the birds flew from?
Well, they flew out everywhere, but
Yeah,
yeah.
like
just from
all
all
the
the
birds that
places.
were resting in all the trees just went up into the sky,
Great,
spun
that's
around,
so creepy.
and flew
That's
away.
so creepy.
But Thelonious is going to cast Detect Magic and kind of use the time to sweep around, right?
Sweep
so
this
60
area?
feet,
Okay.
60 feet in all directions, right? So
Yeah.
What do we
So
do?
basically, he
Scale.
can pretty much cover the whole map.
yeah, so he's just going
Thelonious.
to.
Actually, have I got this size
Gashunk.
right? It should be 10-foot squares.
Gashunk.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So he pretty much sweeps this entire area with detect magic radar. There's nothing inherently magical, although everywhere is incredibly staticky. Like as he casts detect magic, you need to give me a percentage dice roll because it's a spell.
Oh.
First of all.
Come on.
Okay, yeah, 37. Yeah, he says it's very hard to concentrate because everything feels magical, and you kind of get that static energy coming off of everything, and you have to kind of like wade through the junk to try to see clearly. So it doesn't feel like it's a very efficient thing in this place. Like, he has to actually concentrate for a lot longer on an area to actually really be able to figure it out.
Got it. So in Sylvan, I'm just going to say out loud again, show yourself. And then I'm just going to look around. Just look at my watch, working.
Nothing. Oh, let me turn the birds off because they all flew away.
Shall we keep going?
Which way?
Well, I would suggest east, right?
Yeah. Probably. I'm just.
I mean,
It's not looking good.
Something is clearly here, though, watching us.
Yes.
With this awesome orchestra behind them.
I like it.
I love when people just walk with their own musical band, just playing awesome music.
People's theme music. Well,
I've been playing the bongo drums the whole time. All right, so we'll head east a little bit.
okay. You still carrying
Yes.
Thelonious?
Yeah. Yes, I am.
Thelonious Conch.
Oh, love this music.
This music.
It's cool.
Oh, what is it? What is
Is this
from?
Game of Thrones music?
No.
Well, it makes me have feelings. It's from something. I got this
It
nostalgia
makes me have feelings.
from.
Yeah, it's not Game of Thrones. I try not to use anything proprietary so that we don't get
Ah, it's so good.
audio block.
It's something, guys. What is this?
Hopefully help.
Okay. All right. You continue following the path, pushing through the trees ahead.
Oh no! What are these dead trees?
We're entered the Queen's domain, right?
What is that? Oh, it's a rock. I think.
It's a rock.
Oh, it
I
was
got
a
a
bear.
rock.
Yes, there is a dead-ish tree, right?
The tree over here to the left is very, very dead. This one looks incredibly wilty, and on its absolute last legs.
Hmm.
There's something not right about this area.
Thelonious, can you still do that thing you do?
This? Detect
What
magic.
thing?
Is it the
You
detect
want him to
magic thing?
Right, he'd
He's
have to
right.
he'd have to cast it again, because it would have been more than 10 minutes by the time you got here.
Yeah, and he only has one level 1 spell slot left, just so you guys know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know he's a stingy when it comes to casting spells, so he probably isn't going to want to do it unless you really think there's a need.
Oh, which reminds me, I have to put in the tentacle one, too.
I'm gonna kind of walk towards this dead tree over here to take a look at it. Thank you. Hello?
In Sylvan, I'm going to say hello.
All right. In Sylvan, the tree on this side groans. You hear a, "Oh, for pity's sake, leave it in peace."
The tree spoke to me, everybody.
I mean, everybody heard the tree. They just didn't necessarily understand the tree.
Right, so I'm still saying that.
That's a new thing.
I guess this is a thing we're going to experience. And I'm going to approach the wilting tree.
Oh, so it's that one over there.
What alone? The dead one?
He's long since passed.
If I was
Oh,
if I was not an undead tiefling who didn't give a
this
shit.
song is so sad.
I know.
I'm not long for this world either. I will soon be once again with my brother. I'm so thirsty.
Oh. Someone give him some water.
Sorry, I only play a cleric on Thursdays.
I mean, there was a pool not far back.
That was not far back. Was a
It
good,
was 2 maps ago.
which is about an hour and a half.
Oh. How is it you are dying and not the trees around you?
They are not like us.
More, please. I mean, just drink with your roots, no?
There's no moisture in the ground anymore.
There was a pond just that way.
I can't reach it.
Oh.
What?
If you have no water, perhaps you can comfort an old tree with a story.
I could put you out of your misery.
No!
It's only a matter of hours until that happens anyway.
Ask him what happened. Why is there no moisture?
Why is there no moisture? What happened here?
The ground has become sick.
Is it the Queen's fault?
The queen.
The Queen.
Da Queen.
The Queen. No, is it the fault of the Queen? We seek her.
I do not know. I am just a simple tree. I have stood here for centuries. I have seen many things in my time. Many things come and go.
I should have feelings. I'm undead. Poor tree. So you want a story from us?
If you cannot help me, then a story will at least pass the time until
We don't have time.
I
No.
fade.
Is he fading right now? We can help.
Do any of us have a water skin?
Eradicate the sickness.
Probably. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I assume all of you
I
have
would
a
assume
water
we-
skin.
Yeah.
Well, I don't, but yeah.
Thelonious will give his up.
Okay. So Thelonious basically he's got a gallon of water in his wineskin. What does he want to do with it?
Pour it on the ground
Wait,
around.
no, we say, where can we pour this for you to suck in the life of the juice?
The life of the juice.
I don't know.
What?
The life of the water juice, everybody.
Make the ground flow with water.
Seems simple enough.
Flow with water.
There once was a chieftain of a tribe and a witch doctor who trusted him. And then one day, this party came across a devil creature with horns. And the devil creature made the chieftain kill the witch doctor.
That's a really
Does
bad story.
Thelonious have any water spells?
And then what happened?
The devil brought the creature back to life, or not life, to undeath, if you will. And said that he was the key to entering a tower called Morden's Hollow. Because only death would enter if you were alive when you did. That's confusing. I completely just confused myself.
Perhaps you know another story. Something less bleak.
I know one about a goat.
Let's not do the goats again.
Wasn't there water just on the other map?
Yeah, it's like an hour and a half away, Jane.
No, like just the one right over. No? I saw lots of little ponds in different places.
You're saying that these trees aren't the same as you. How so?
These trees don't have a voice. They don't have memories. We are the old oak. There are not many of us left.
Maybe you say there's no more water in the whole ground. What if we were to destroy these other trees and get the water from them?
I will have no part in living at the expense of others. If it is my time, then so it must be.
I pour Theo's water skin on the.
Okay. It's a humble offering, and the tree appreciates the gesture. But for a tree of this size, 1 gallon of water poured upon the ground is gonna do little to sate it. But
How about 2 gallons?
I appreciate it. Really, I do. If only you had much more.
Perhaps we can get rid of the sickness in the ground before you die.
If only it would rain. It hasn't rained for a year.
Wow. Is that when the queen became the queen?
I believe the queen has been queen for longer. But
No, but what?
Come on, stay with us. I'm pouring my water skin.
okay. But it has only been recently that she made her court in this part of the forest.
Ah.
And is this court east of you?
It is where the sun rises.
East, yes.
West. Yeah.
No, not west. It's all that.
And is there any way to curry favor with the queen? To not immediately be destroyed or seen as a threat?
The queen has never bothered me.
I think it's just what happened when she moved in. I don't think she cares or knows. Well, she may know, she might not care.
Either that or something else is happening.
Right.
If you have... There is more I would tell you, but I am so very tired now.
Sleep.
I must rest.
I think he died.
I'm just gonna look at everyone and be like, shall we go on?
Let us make haste. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna give the tree a manly pat and head this way.
It just breaks and falls over.
Kyla's gonna hug the tree.
Okay.
What?
Tree hugger, won't you hug my tree?
I'm going to not hug the tree. I don't hug the tree. No.
Oh. What? All right. Do we have long tubing? Maybe we can tie
Long tubing.
a bunch of worms together.
We will
That's something that
siphon
would
the
happen.
pond.
How far is this pond from that tree?
About 30 minutes.
Okay.
You can telekinesis water. Do it.
I don't think I can.
Oh.
Well, at the very least, we could fill that. We don't have time.
Yeah, let's build a filtration system.
I mean, you've got 4 water skins, so basically you can dump
4 gallons.
4
out.
gallons about every.
It would be an hour there and back, yeah.
Well, again, you're just kind of like. I mean, Kyla and Tolgar, if they decided to hoof it, could probably get there and back in 15 minutes.
Well,
I
Emlyn
mean, at a brisk
hoof it
run, you know.
Evelyn doesn't get fatigued either, so
No, so yeah, I mean, Emlyn could. You just have to probably leave Thelonious sitting on a rock or something.
You would love that.
Is there a larger container we could just do once just to keep the tree alive for longer while we get rid of this queen?
It's an interesting concern of yours, Tolgar.
See, the problem with that, Neo, is they've already removed his 23-foot-long intestine. They actually took all of Emlyn's stomach
That's too
and all of that
bad.
out. They actually embalmed him.
Would that have worked?
Eh?
Would have had a lot of natural fertilizer in it, too.
That's
Probably would have done.
so funny. That would have been so funny.
Of course, Thelonious and Tolgar and Kyla still have theirs. Just saying. How bad do you want to save a
Not
tree?
wrong.
also Thelonious can fly if he casts that spell. If we're really serious about that, I mean, that he goes quicker, right?
Yeah, what speed can he muster at flight?
Like 60 feet, right?
So twice
Or
as fast.
perhaps it's the tree's time to die, but I feel like the only reason it's become this way is the ground and the queen.
Well, the only thing that I would be willing to do this is if helping the tree helps us with the queen, you know.
Does it?
Well,
I don't think
that
it
would
does.
be the gamble, right? Yeah, like maybe we say we helped save an old tree, and the queen's like, "Oh, I didn't give it a crap." Maybe she would be like, "Oh, thank you."
I wish
I
that
don't
tree
think
was
she
dead.
would care.
She has the power to save it. She would save it.
Correct.
Or maybe she doesn't know that it's no, because people have been walking by it, right?
Right.
In which case, they may have not reported it, but if we were the first 2, it might be a better chance than us hoisting a couple of bottles of water at a time.
Well, let's also remember that the wizard might be with the queen, invisible. We have to just be aware that that's possible.
Yes.
Which is all the more reason to get there faster.
So let's leave the tree to its fates and go see about this queen.
Good luck, tree.
It's a tree, Tolgar.
Trees need luck too.
I believe everything has a spirit, including that tree.
Yep, we're just gonna keep going east, I guess.
Whoa!
Ooh.
Nope.
All right. So as Kyla
Mermaid.
gets kind of close to the edge of as she's close to the edge of the pool, suddenly, out of the water comes what looks like some kind of nymph or sylph, some kind of water dwelling fae creature.
Oh.
There she is.
Aw.
Yeah, she suddenly like
Hail!
pops out of the water. I
So-
heard
so-
you
Back
talking
up.
about the tree.
So in Sylvan, and also still repeating everything. Did you see that in common or?
In Sylvan.
Yes, there's a tree 30 minutes back that way, an old tree that is dying of thirst.
Yes, let it die. It must die.
Why?
It's the way of things.
But you were of water.
It is an unnatural death.
About this time, from right above Kyla, you hear something else.
What the
Is
fuck?
that a fox?
It's a little Sheba. Oh.
What is happening here?
All right.
fox?
Basically,
Is
it
it a
looks
Shiba?
like a very. It looks like a. It does look like a fox.
Queen of Sheba?
It's kind of flamey orange. But its facial features seem a little bit too profound for the average canine.
What the?
In
Ew.
Sylvan, it says, "Don't listen to her. You should save the tree. If you can."
Who are you?
Quiet! Quiet, you wretched kitsune!
Kitsune.
You feral creature!
Water thing.
Oh my god.
I'm a sylph.
Sylph, you are aware that the tree dying is unnatural, that the land around it is starved, and it would not be right for the tree to be dying.
But it is dying.
But you can do something about that.
I cannot. I cannot leave this pool. I cannot walk on the ground like a fawn or a satyr or a ladrin.
That's true. Look at her legs.
And go ahead, Kayla.
You're
So this-
just selfish. You want all the water to yourself. Silence, Kitsune. You're trying to confuse them.
I'm just going to put it this way. In all of my travels, I've learned a lot about the world, and this one hasn't traveled outside of a puddle.
That's true.
Don't listen to her. No, you should listen to me. The trees are wicked. The trees support her. They support the queen. It's her doing. They don't even realize. She's the one that stopped it raining. She's the one responsible for their death, and yet they still support her. Don't listen to the sylph. She would have you believe the queen is evil and bad.
Oh no.
But she's not. She's kind and sweet.
Oh.
Silence, Kitsune! Stop filling their heads full of lies!
The queen is making it rain. Not. If the queen is stopping it from raining, then it cannot be a good queen.
No, the queen doesn't know. If the queen knew, she would save the tree. The sylph wants all the water for herself. She doesn't want you to take any of the water from her pond. If you do, that's less for her. That's not true. Look at all the water I have. I have plenty. I would let them if it was a good thing to do, but it isn't.
Can you detect evil and good? Either of you. I'm gonna look at the spellcasters.
It really is about fiends and celestials and
Emlyn,
yes.
we're going
Sly
to...
fox.
The kitsune jumps down stealthily onto this larger rock.
It's pretty obvious which one here is in the
Looks-
right, and we're going to have to do the wrong thing here. We want to curry favor with the queen. Let's kill the sylph now. Ready?
Oh my god.
Ready?
At your going.
Okay, I shoot it.
So you want to shoot the sylph in the water? Okay.
I follow up with my own.
God, yes,
attack.
we are evil. Okay.
Yep.
We are evil.
You gotta remember, guys, we
Gotta
don't
remember this.
care about much. And when we do, it's about us. Okay, would that be a surprise?
I would say, I mean, it's 5th edition, so there's technically no surprise. It comes down to initiative,
yeah.
but if she beats your initiative, she doesn't get to go before you. So, so yeah, if you intend to react in this encounter, give me an initiative roll.
Okay.
I would too, even though I roll like crap.
Emlyn is on a 6. Kyla is on a 19. All right. Let me do a roll for the self.
Okay.
And it would go there. Tolgar on a 17. Okay.
Here we go.
Here we go. Should I shoot?
Anyone rolling for Emlyn, or is he staying out of it?
I already rolled. It's
No, Emlyn. Sorry.
Oh, Theo.
Theo.
I'm sure he would have overheard the whispering. Standing right there.
I guess roll his initiative. Just whether he does anything or not, you still can put him on the board, so we know where he goes.
I will roll it.
Cute.
All right. All right. Okay. So Kyla, you are first, and you have the drop anyway. So.
So I think I've been doing it wrong. I think I auto crit when I have advantage because of assassinate. So.
Oh well, if that's the case. Oh, I don't want that song. That's the wrong song. I want that song.
So as long as I hit, there's that, and then I get another. What is it? Another
3d6, isn't it, for you?
D8 there for the.
Oh no, for the auto crit would be.
Oh yeah, it's 3d6 for the.
Yeah, so if you get an auto crit, then you double the damage dice that you roll.
I think both songs are playing right now, Gore.
They are.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's intentional.
Yeah, okay.
You're gonna feel that.
I'll play some more songs now.
No!
Then I get another 1d8 from the crit, right?
Yep, so you do 8 plus an additional d8 for the crit, and then you'll get the...
I have 3d6 sneak attack. Does that double or no?
No.
Okay, good. That'd be ridiculous. Ooh! Yeah!
All right.
Those are great numbers. Look at those great numbers. I have the
Awesome.
best numbers.
So a total of 8, so it's actually 16 points of damage. Okay, so
get
very
extra
quickly you
attacks.
just suddenly... Now! And shoot the arrow. It scuffs, like bounces off the water and skims across her shoulder. Okay,
I
Tolgar.
do get another attack. Can I do that one too?
You can, yep. If you're going to have a
Yes.
second attack, go for it.
Yeah, this one's just normal.
Okay, an additional 8 then.
It's a bit of
All right.
pop.
All right, Tolgar. You would have to probably dive into the water to get your hands on her, but...
Okay, so my longsword won't reach her. What's the square of length here?
5 foot is your reach, and that's a square is 10, so she's probably just outside your reach.
Does it look deeper? Like, does it look like a little pool?
It
Can I see the
looks
bottom
pretty
from that?
deep. I mean, you can see her tail is like descended into the depth, so
All right.
you really can't.
Okay. I know what I want to do then. I'm gonna pull out old strangly Tolgar, and I'm gonna take out my rope and start making a little noose.
Okay, so you're going to start trying to make a noose. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thelonious.
I guess he would magic missile
Force damage? Yeah, probably. But
at a second level.
yeah.
Okay. So 4d4 plus 4?
Yeah, let me do that. D4 plus 4.
All right, give me a percentage dice roll to go with that. Ooh, okay. 4d4 plus 4. Actually, it's going to be 4d4 plus 8. So
Nice.
it's actually going to be a little bit more. So we'll add another 4 to that. So that's 20.
20. Yay.
All right. Okay. Obviously, she screams and yells in pain. The little fox dude is bouncing on all fours. Yes, kill it! Kill it now! Kill it! Okay, in retaliation, she is going to go and just descend into the depths.
There she goes forever.
So she goes down below the water surface. Emlyn.
Can I see her?
I mean, you see her kind of going, swimming down. Obviously, this pool, at least at the center, must be pretty deep.
Well, I can't drown.
You just get
Don't let it get away. Don't kill it. Finish what you've started.
Oh, calm down.
I'm gonna walk to the edge and peer in.
Do you wanna wrap in this rope here? I'll pull you back up if I feel you struggling.
That's actually a weirdly good idea, I think.
Can you swim?
I
Doesn't
think
really
I would
matter.
just sink, if anything.
He doesn't have to swim.
All
I'm
right.
gonna start tying the rope around him instead of me.
I mean, that doesn't mean he
I'm-
can move particularly well underwater, but he
knows?
won't. He certainly won't suffocate.
That'll be fun.
I'm going to adjust it up so it's under my armpits because I have a feeling my undead body probably won't enjoy this very much. Well, I
It's
don't
going to
want
become
you, like,
bloated
ripping
and
me in
soggy.
half.
That's gonna be
Yeah,
so
but
nice.
I honestly wouldn't think about that being undead. So I would use my turn getting roped, basically.
Okay.
Get roped.
Get roped on. Okay.
And I would cast Blade Ward as a cantrip while that's happening.
All right. Okay.
At me. Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
All right. Okay. And then what do you want to do? Because other than listening to the fox, it insists that you go down there and deal with it. Go and finish what you started. There's no sign of her or it. It hasn't, like, moved or come out.
I would cast Blade Ward one more time
Okay.
and jump in with the rope around me.
Good luck.
Bad. And yeah, try to find her.
All right. 1 second.
Your all rights are making me very nervous, Gore.
Oh, that's how it does. Oh, that's cool. Devour undead whole. Love it. Sorry. Okay. So you basically drop into the water and just begin to slowly sink. I mean, obviously you can swim. Was you able to swim before when you was alive?
Yeah, I could.
Yeah. It's much harder for you to come up because there's no lungs to inflate to get any buoyancy. So you go down a lot easier than you used to.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much go down to the bottom and I start walking along the bottom.
Okay.
With my
It's about
claw
probably
arms.
where you are there. It's about 10 foot, and as you kind of head towards the center, it gets to about 15 foot. All right, underneath the water ahead of you, you can see this thing kind of like floating near the bottom, just looking at you as you get closer and closer and closer.
I'm gonna get. Obviously, I don't want to get like right on. I mean, because I can't exactly charge it, right? I mean, being underwater.
No.
But I will go like this to it, like gesture to come to me.
Okay. All right.
My claws are ready because I can't cast spells underwater.
All right, it basically starts to do this with its fingers, and as it does so, you're noticing a small whirlpool is beginning to form directly in front of it.
Kyla, help
It's
me
like-
hold on to this rope.
Right.
Those of you outside can actually see the very top of this little tiny whirlpool out there in the middle of the pond.
Oh, jeez.
What's my movement on the bottom of the water?
Probably.
Walking?
It's 5e, so it would be the equivalent of your moving restricted, so it'd be half your movement rate.
All right. So,
And you would have disadvantage on any attacks and stuff.
of course. So I could get to it and slash with my arms at disadvantage, obviously. That's within difficult terrain kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to walk to it as it's doing something that I know what it's doing, but I'm doing it anyway.
Okay.
And I do an attack with
All
my
right.
horrible disadvantage.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
okay.
you
13.
slowly
13, come
rake
on.
towards it. But it is entirely not at any disadvantage and moves incredibly well underneath the water. It very easily just shouts to the side, and then basically you get hit with a water blast, which is like a whirlwind that comes and hits you. You need to make a dex saving throw with disadvantage.
I hate you, Jane.
Why?
for the stupid ass idea that, of course, Emlyn would not fight again.
Alrighty.
So funny.
Emlyn's undead. He doesn't care about his being.
He cares about dying.
Alright, take 16
Cares
points
about that
of
shit.
damage as the thing blasts you, and you are basically stunned for a round.
Well, I don't get stunned.
So,
There
yeah,
you
that's the
go.
effects of it, but fortunately for you, it won't stun you. But it's actually the fact that you're kind of like
All right.
spun round and round and round. But you're not disorientated like somebody else would be, because it's an effect that can affect you. So,
So I'm like 15 feet underwater, and I got blasted kind of upwards.
No, you kind of got blasted backwards. So you're kind of like just pushed back, but it doesn't actually have a pushback effect. So it just kind of like blasts into you with an incredible amount of force, like a mini tidal wave underneath the waves.
Okay, I would recover and approach it again and try another claw attack.
Okay.
Come on.
Come on.
Do it.
Disadvantage, no less. Jeez, the disadvantage is killing me. Oh my
Oh
god.
my
Oh,
god.
yeah,
The
yeah.
one. Wah, wah.
I'm doing it more for the fear factor of, I'm not phased, I'm not drowning. Maybe she'll get afraid and be like, oh shit, but that's not.
Where's she gonna run to?
Well, she can't go far, but the bottom line is... meanwhile, you guys are all basically just standing up there and
Yeah.
are pretty much
I've gotta
unaware
hold
of
the
what's
rope.
going on down there beneath the depths.
So I think Felonius would have seen the thing and probably gotten a closer vantage point to try and see into it, but I don't think he can.
Not unless he has anything that would let him see through, like, dark, murky water.
Yeah, the guy who could probably do that is already down there, so.
Right.
So, unless he
I
has
guess-
anything he wants to cast.
I guess. Oh.
I'm gonna look him over, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, Tolgar's
Like
holding
fire
the
versus
rope, and it's
water.
like jerking around left and right, and almost like he's holding onto the end of a rope with a big fish on it.
Yeah, at which point we did tell him we'd pull him out.
True.
We should probably do that.
I'm gonna start pulling him out.
Yeah, I'll help him.
Okay, so you're just going to suddenly grab hold of the rope and start yanking.
Yeah.
All right, so
This didn't work.
Okay, basically you claw at it, and then suddenly you suddenly got zooming backwards through the water.
I love that image.
The thing starts to once again whip up the water
All right.
around it.
Well, not being a dumbass, as I'm being yanked, I'm gonna turn in the water, grab the rope, and start pulling myself as
Okay.
I'm being yanked.
All right,
So-
they get you out of the water. It doesn't like chase you down inside the water.
would claw myself onto the ground,
Okay.
and I guess vomit a whole lot of water, right? It's just
Yeah,
all water.
It just starts, dripping out of his nose and out of his mouth and
my stitches
seeping out of his poorly closed up wounds.
Gross.
What are you doing? Finish the job. Why don't you go down there? You're
I might have
much
some.
bigger.
What do you have?
Well, let's say, maybe, I have the ability to adjust myself for water. And could go down there and blow it up.
Why
And
do you
blow it
shift?
up.
What can you do?
It's just that it's more spells that if there's any other solution, of course, you're welcome to.
Do it.
Ah.
I gotta
Very
see
well,
this.
very well.
All right, what's he doing?
He's going to cast Alter Self
Okay.
on himself and take aquatic form.
Oh my god. We're
Oh my god.
Thelonious the Merman.
He can now,
Aquaman.
he's got it. Okay, so I'll go ahead and populate that.
Yeah, okay.
Cool.
So, yep, basically he can do that. He can do aquatic adaptation, which basically he means he sprouts gills and grows webbing between his fingers, and that means he can breathe underwater, and he gains swimming speed equal to his mooring speed. So basically he would be on fair footing with this thing down there.
Yeah, but can he cast
Can you
spells?
cast
But that's
spells?
verbal.
Oh, he can breathe.
So,
See, the reason why I didn't cast any spells while underneath because underwater saying incantations
Well,
not easy, right?
well, here's the thing. Is it necessary for you to say it, or is it necessary for them to hear it? That's what it comes down to. With a verbal, like, if you speak underwater, you can hear yourself.
Right.
No one else will hear you, but you can hear yourself. So,
that
that
should
might
work.
be a theory you need to try to find out.
Amlin honestly would not have even considered casting a spell underwater because she
Right.
doesn't know that would be a thing to.
Well, also,
Try.
being underwater would be very much more difficult for doing your somatics and all that. But needless to say, none of those things will affect Thelonious for an entire hour if he so chooses.
All of his spells are fire, damn it.
The Lona fish.
Yeah, except when he goes underwater, it's not going to be.
So as Thelonious does this, I'm just gonna look at him and be like, she does this water blast thing. I love
Fish.
that. And I'm gonna take off the rope and kind of just look glaringly at the kitsune, I guess, right?
Okay.
Kind of like I want it as a meal.
Right, it's jumping up and down and overly energetically and spinning round on the rock and.
So we're out of level 4 spells. He still has a level 3 and a level 5.
That's it, huh?
Oh, he also
Yeah.
has his necklace.
He does have his necklace, but I'd hate to use someone else's limited charge.
Well, you did
magic
last
item.
time. Y'all have
I
done
know
it
last
before.
He ain't ever gonna use it.
Thelonious
I swear he's not going to use
Snugs
it.
has never actually used that
can
item. You
afford
guys
it.
have used it. But I mean, it's definitely a thing.
Each one is 7d4 plus 7, right? That's
That's a lot of damage.
They're pretty potent. I mean, it's a hella item. How many balls does he have left? How many beads does he have left on it?
But you can't throw underwater.
But it turns into a magic missile the second it leaves your hand. So
Okay.
it is a magic missile spell. Once he
I will throw this bead.
I think it started with 10, right?
Yeah, he's done
and you
9.
use like 2 or 3 already.
It says 9, but I don't think we marked the last time we used it.
I think it had 9 when he got it.
Mhm.
Because I remember
So it's
last time
7.
saying make sure you remember to
Yeah,
deduct
so
whatever
it's
you
7.
used. So it should
Yeah,
be
he's
7
at
now?
7.
Okay, so you got 7. He's got 7 left on it.
74 plus 7. Yeah, he should probably use one that's higher than he's gonna cast, you know?
Yeah.
Well, it's the same as high as he can cast. And then he can always back it up, but it takes a round to remove one. Do we want to use all 7?
No.
blow this thing out of the
Oh
water.
my god.
Let's not be that way.
The
Do
water
want
will
to get
travel
over
so far with the explosion that it might just hit the tree.
Yeah, no, he's gonna. Thing's already taken damage. He's
I
gonna
mean, he
take
can
one off.
pull off as many as he wants ahead of time and have in his hand. But
then
once
it
he's
has
broken them
ready to
off,
use it.
he's basically walking around with a clenched fist until he lets him go.
Yeah,
Just-
no, he just.
So you want to have him dive in the water, pull
Yep,
one
he's gonna
off and jump in? Is
flop
that your
in.
game plan?
Gonna plop in and chuck.
All right, okay. So he dives in, and looks like he's, obviously swimming until he can see the thing. All right, as he starts getting closer to it, it immediately begins to whip the water around. All right, so he's gonna.
Yep.
All right, well, it's not a spell, so it will have general. You don't have to roll the effects on it. So
Ooh.
it's just
Flash
7d4 plus 7.
Roll well, please.
Oh my god.
22.
2 ones there.
That's not bad. Yeah, but it's 3 threes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, he hurls the thing, and a whole bunch of spiraling balls of glowing magic go through the water towards this thing, and just bombard it with rapid fire, sending it kind of spiraling backwards a good bit. I will have to make a concentration check. And it has lost concentration. So it doesn't
Nice.
get to retaliate with that spell. Okay. So,
Yeah.
it is... but... You see, you did 22, right? Okay, but it is still very much there and begins to
no.
recover. What does Thelonious wish to do?
His cantrips? One of his cantrips? Would that just explode him because is it electricity? I don't know. No,
No, his
firebolt?
cantrick is a firebolt, which underwater is probably going to be all... Unless something very weird happens because of the Fae, it's probably going to be a wasted spell.
Just cast Mage Hand and jam it up in their gills.
No. Yeah, I mean, you can cast a level 2 spell, a level 3 spell, or of course Empower, or a level 5 spell, correct? Right?
He's out of level 2s because he changed
Or
his
he
body
can... Boop. Another one.
Yeah, he could truck another.
Oh, but she's still very much alive.
I mean, she's clearly injured. But it's... yeah, I mean, he didn't see her... He didn't see what state she was in prior to getting down here, so...
I feel bad about that.
Well, I mean, it's a magical item for a reason, right?
It'd still have 5.
Oh.
It's up to you.
He'll have 6 left. Yeah, do another one.
Okay.
No, well, he had 7, right?
We had 9, then he used it twice. Oh, right. So it would be 5.
So you use 1 is 6. So if he uses 1 more, it'll be down to 5.
5. Correct.
Okay.
Do it.
Okay.
What you get for not being here, Snugs. Oh, 23. 1 better.
Ooh.
All right, this time, once again, he hurls the thing. It slams into the creature.
Just all of us on the surface is just boom, boom, boom.
And then suddenly it kind of like goes parallel in the water and just begins to slowly float. It's like someone just dropped a stick of dynamite in the water and shocked all the fish.
Bring her over here, Thelonious. I'll cut her head off.
He
the
can't hear
queen.
you.
I imagine Thelonious would start looking for any kind of magical paraphernalia.
Yeah.
So is he
that's
going
true.
over
In the
to
pond.
It
the
would
fish?
swim over, search it.
Okay.
Yeah.
In
Actually-
the pond.
He probably would bring it to the surface to show that it's dead, right? I
Yeah.
mean,
Okay.
yeah, to the kitsune.
So you want him? He's going to grab it and drag it to the surface.
yeah, and just like plop it on the ground like a dead fish.
All right. Okay. So he plops it out of the water, and there it is. laying all blasted to pieces by arcane magics, laying still and non-moving against the ground.
Take an axe to her head, to her neck.
Just axe to the head.
Axe to the neck.
All right, the kitsune runs over to it, and then it cocks its leg and pees on it. And it spins around like twice, all excitedly, like that weird hoppy, jumpy, turny thing that they do. And then it runs and jumps up on this. Well done! Well done! You killed it! You killed it!
Yep. Was she a threat to you?
Oh, she's a threat to everybody that passes by. She doesn't let anybody drink from her pool, not even me. Now I can drink from the pool anytime I want to.
With that said, I'm going to turn to Emlyn and say, I know how we can keep the tree alive just a little longer.
I think I might have smelt what Tolgar's about to put down.
You're going to jump in there. You're going to run to the tree. You're going to vomit all over. That carries much more water than our little water skins.
It's a half-hour walk, and I do tend to leak. You are aware of this, right?
Go quickly.
We could always make a bit of a fox skin bag with a...
Alright, the kitsune kind of looks at you with a very upset. The kitsune looks at you with a very upset kind of face. Why would you do that? I've been nothing but helpful to you. I'm your friend. You should listen to me.
Tell us, what should we do?
Well, depends what you're here for, doesn't it?
We need to see the queen.
The Queen? Well, you're heading in the right direction. Don't believe what everybody tells you. She's lovely. She'll do you no harm, as long as you don't approach her with weapons drawn. No, make sure you approach her in a friendly fashion. Then
Will she
she'll
appreciate
probably
the
let
head
you
of
speak.
this sylph?
Oh, maybe. Yes, take the head. Show her the head.
Insights?
Yeah.
Can I gauge whether this thing is being truthful here? Because
Of course not.
Pretty sure it's not.
You can give me an insight check, Emlyn, soon as you're paying.
It almost was a 20.
Clearly this thing is gleefully happy that you have just killed this sylph. It's questionable whether the kitsune could have done it itself, so you've just done it for it, maybe. But it's hard to know. I mean, you've obviously had multiple conflicting stories. You've got the tree creature, the little nymph thing that you met inside the tree, told you the queen was bad. The kitsune says that the queen is good. The tree seems to be indifferent.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Wow.
But the kitsune wanted the tree to die. He doesn't want us to save the tree, right? Because he kind of reacted when Tolgar said, Emlyn can be a water skin and save the tree. So.
Well, she absolutely didn't want to save the tree.
Yeah.
He was saying, don't listen to her.
Didn't.
But the kitsune didn't really say anything about saving the tree or not one way or the other.
Okay.
It was more just telling you, don't listen to her.
Fill up with water. I will pick you up and run you to the tree.
Seems like an interesting use of time.
Time that Hyla doesn't seem to want to waste. Also, again, I leak.
So you want something to carry the water in, do you?
That would be helpful.
Alright, the kitsune runs and it jumps on top of the dead sylph and starts bouncing up and down gleefully.
What?
Oh, it's made of water, isn't it?
No, but I bet you could get a lot of water inside it. Eee!
Trees don't have eyes, do they?
Do what have eyes?
Trees.
That's a great question. Air
How does air
blowing.
work? Do trees have eyes? These are the questions.
We fill up Emlyn and we fill up this creature. We go back once only.
Again, we leak.
I don't care.
It's a 30-minute walk back
It's a
to that tree.
15-minute walk. And then 15 back. I run.
I'm just gonna look at Tolkar and be like, if you really want to do this,
I don't care that much, but someone said it might
exactly.
help with the
don't.
queen.
We don't care.
The tree's not going to help with the queen. This little fox fellow might.
Help you with the queen? How?
Can you take us to her? Do you know her?
I know of her. I
You're not
know
in her,
she isn't what she appears.
you
What
aren't
do you mean?
in her service? No.
We're all in the service of the queen. All of us. Just some are still loyal to the prince.
Prince.
This is the prince I wish it
This is
was.
the
I'd
prince-
be so happy. But it's probably another prince. Oh, that'd be so happy.
So, do you know of the invisible force that follows the queen?
Yes?
What is it?
I've never seen it, but I don't like the smell. It
What does it
smells
smell?
terrible. Terrifying. Oh, yes, terrifying to me.
Does it smell like any of us?
No, it smells. It smells dark and hungry. All the time, it's hungry.
Kyla, take out your bone. That's
Your bone? What?
I,
Fact is, he's saying that to Kyla, which is about the only
bone
reason that that's an
full of demon
okay
blood.
a
statement.
bone full of demon blood. But yes, take out your bone, Kyla. No.
okay, just gotta. Okay.
Does the creature, the invisible force, smell like that?
But as soon as you kind of pull that out, and immediately the creature's like,
What bone is it?
"That's evil! Take it away! Take it away! It doesn't belong here!"
Okay, it's put away. It's
Jane, that was the bone of demon devil blood.
Oh, okay.
That hollowed out horn that he had, like
Yeah.
or the femur that was hollowed out that they filled with blood.
Ooh, cool. Okay.
Evil as it is that the smell that the invisible thing
Oh
reminds you of?
no, that's evil. This is just. It hunts us. It seeks us. It's hungry. It would eat us. It's like looking around, almost like it's just talking about it might make it be here. It protects her. Oh yes.
For as long as you have known her, or recent?
I do not know. She has only been the queen for about 18 moons, maybe more.
oh.
Yes, Kyla.
What have you seen her? Do you know what she looks like?
Well, that depends, doesn't it? I've heard rumors. She is tall and has a great rack of horns upon her head.
Can she take other forms?
I have heard she does, but I have not lived long enough to see them.
Okay.
My first thought was that maybe it was the woman accompanying DeWind, so.
Oh.
And that
Do you-
DeWind had somehow.
What?
Well, if you're trying to escape from people who might be pursuing you, this would be a pretty good way of doing it.
Have you seen a tower, a tall tower? Little fox.
I have not seen a tall tower. I live here in this part of the forest. I don't travel far. There's no need. There's plenty of delicious things to eat here. And now we have all the water we want. Hee-hee. I'm so glad you killed her.
Mm-hmm.
Selfish she was. Very selfish.
Have you seen a man who looks like this? I point to Thelonious. Passed by many suns ago.
Not quite the same, but I've definitely seen a human.
Recently?
Oh, yes. The Queen has him. He is her prisoner.
Oh, prisoner.
He is wicked.
So many mixed signals.
Well, I guess that's who we are going to see.
Well, remember, when you approach the Queen, make sure that you don't have your weapons ready. Do not intimidate her. Approach harmlessly. Harmlessly. Vulnerable. Be very, very vulnerable.
Great. Just what I love.
Yeah, that might be hard for you there.
Well, let's go then.
Thank you, small creature.
Oh, you're very welcome. And with
I'm
that,
gonna
it
look at
runs
Emlyn.
over to the water and,
Okay.
sticks its head in and starts to lap at the water frivolously. Oh, refreshing. Yes. Delicious.
I'm gonna look at Emlyn. Like the squirrel, he's turned around.
Well, I am, as Tolgar says this, I am going to be walking along the path near the squirrel, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll be right.
The squirrel.
The squirrel, as in the kitsune thing? Okay, as you kind of approach it, it's kind of like watching you out of the corner of its eye, and it's kind of like squinting.
I just mutter a curse under my breath and keep walking.
Oh, nice. Oh, I'm really glad you did that. Jane is.
I don't want to jeopardize the possible information we got.
Thelonious kicks
Thelonious
it.
is going to eat the kitsune.
Thelonious throws the remaining 5 magic balls at it out of spite.
And we head east.
All right. Okay. East, you continue.
Yes.
Oh. Go ahead and move you guys along. And we'll move you to this map. And that is probably as good a place as we're going to get to tonight to wrap it up and finish this off neatly and tidily with a little bow wrapped around it. There we go. No major cliffhanger, but at least it's neat and tidy. But we are going to give away a set of dice because Satch won you guys one. So,
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Hi there, I'm Gorbad. Welcome to the Orc's Nest. I'm the Dungeon Master here on How We Roll, and if you'd like to follow me personally, you can do so on Twitter at Gorbad. Check out thedmblog.com for all things Dungeon Master and Dungeons and Dragons related. And of course, you can follow me on twitch.tv/Gorbad. Also, guys, don't forget to keep up with all things How We Roll, follow us on Twitter at How We Roll. Check out the website, www.howweroll.com, and make sure you follow us on YouTube as well. Cheers, guys.
Hi, I'm the Satchmo. I speak for the trees. Thank you for watching How We Roll. If you want to see some more of me, you can follow me on Twitch and Twitter at Satchmo. If not, I guess I'll just see you next episode. I love you. Take care.
What's up, you guys? It's the Snuggler here, and I am back for my second How We Roll campaign. I've been given some guidelines. One is to not name the character that I'm playing. Of course, probably gonna kill my character at some point. And two is to keep this as short as possible.
Jane is just so lazy.
So with that being said, so happy to be on my second campaign for How We Roll. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can do so at MaddieSweetTweet. That's pretty much all I use. So check you there. If not, I'm always here playing for you guys.
Shagget here. I play a character on How We Roll. I'm not going to tell you who I play because if they die, I'm going to have to redo it. I've already done it once, never again. Follow me on Twitter at Aneb_Convos, and I'll see you guys on How We Roll.
Hi, Jane here. You may have seen me in such films as Rise of the Fallen or Lyra vs. Legend. Thanks for watching! You can follow me on Twitter at Jane on Twitch. That's with a 0, not no. Anyway, I gotta go. The cats. Peace, suckers!